What in the world?
This being Renan territory, I was prepared for a lot of things to look different. But this is a bit more than I anticipated.
The very foundations of the city have shifted. What could have caused this?
When Lenegis changed shape, it must have had an effect on the interior, too.
Maybe when they sent the wedge down to Dana?
But they wouldn't move around the places where people live. These are their homes, right?
I would think the citizens themselves didn't have much say in the matter. Either way, locating the Forbidden Zone just became that much trickier.
Dohalim? Is that you?
Avakir, I'm glad to see you're well.
So it is you! But why are you here? Shouldn't you be down on Dana participating in the crown contest? And these people!
So you haven't heard what happened on Dana, then?
Heard what?
Someone you know?
An old friend.
Hey, Dohalim, don't tell me you've started keeping company with...
They're with me. More importantly, what's happened here?
I'm really not sure. The city's foundations began to shift without warning, and now everything looks like this. We're all waiting for the Sovereign to tell us what's happening, but so far...
Avakir, listen to me. We're looking for the Forbidden Zone. Do you have any idea where we might find it?
The Forbidden Zone? What business could you possibly have there?
Trust me. The less you know, the better.
You're just the same as ever. I wish I could help, but what with the changed topography, I can barely locate my own home. Let alone the Forbidden Zone.
Very well. It looks like we'll have to find the way there ourselves.
Have you seen Faria yet?
No.
I see. Well, nothing much has changed with her. If anything, she's probably even more...
I can well imagine.
Why did you come back? You know it can only result in pain for you both.
I've no doubt of that.
You really are the same as ever. Fine, I understand. Just don't say I didn't warn you. And take care of yourself. Okay, Do?
So who's Faria?
Law?
If what Avakir said is true, it would seem the people of Lenegis are being kept in the dark about what's happening down on Dana.
They seem to be just as clueless about what's going on up here in their own world. Despite the fact that it's actually here that the wedge originally came from.
We need more information. Let's talk to the citizens, see what we can find out.
While we're at it, we can ask them about the Red Woman, too.
And don't forget about finding the way to the Forbidden Zone either.
Let's leave the talking to Shion. We can't have a bunch of Danins poking their noses around.
Good idea. I think that's for the best.
I shall assist.
You sure?
Being a lord on Lenegis has its advantages.
Right. Then we'll leave it to you two. The Danins among us should probably keep our heads down.
What if people freak out?
I shall explain it away by saying I'm leading you.
What are we, dogs?
What could be so important? It's worth destroying people's livelihoods and homes in the process. It's just... unbelievable. Uprooting an entire city as if it were mere building blocks. Someone's got an awful lot of questions to answer.
From how it looks, they must be siphoning off astral energy from Dana, and then sending it to Rena.
But why do all this? What for? Surely they can't be using all that energy for the crown contest.
Whatever their purpose, disrupting their siphoning process alone won't be sufficient. Not while we still don't know what their endgame is.
He's right. We need to stop this from happening ever again.
This Forbidden Zone might be where we find some answers, right? So what are we waiting for? Let's get moving!
You heard him. We don't have time to stop and chat. Let's move.
So, I've been wondering, do you think when Lenegus was built, it was even made with people living here in mind?
What do you mean?
Well, none of this happened by coincidence, right? They must have designed it to transform like this. But then, if they knew people were going to live here, you'd think they would have taken that into consideration, to avoid all this chaos.
Ordinarily, yes. You'd think so. Trust me, as far as we were concerned, Lenegus was our home, nothing more. No one knew about all this. It makes you wonder whether the city was just built on as an afterthought. But if so, to what exactly?
Sorry, that probably sounded weird, huh?
Not at all. Sometimes it takes an outsider's eye to help you notice what you've been missing all along. This place is a mystery, that's for sure. Something tells me we'll find answers where we're going, though.
Yeah, you're right, Shion. I'm sure we will.
Oh, dear me. What an unspeakable mess this has all become. Just look at the state of our city. Even the Zeugles have stopped heeding our commands. Whatever did we do to deserve this?
You really have no clue what might have caused this?
Would that I have. Alas, there was no warning, no prior decree. His Highness must have deemed it unnecessary for us to know. We have no choice but to grin and bear it. But do my eyes deceive me? Could I really be standing in the presence of his lordship, Dohalim of the House Ilkaris? I believed he was on Dana.
Your eyes do not deceive you. It is I, one and the same. I have returned to fulfill a special duty, the details of which I cannot divulge.
As your lordship wishes. First Lenegus mutates beyond recognition, now this unexpected visit. The Sovereign's plans are inscrutable indeed. The Ilkaris house has produced a great many lords over the centuries. I shall be praying for your victory in the latest crown contest.
Your good wishes do me an honor.
Everything will be okay now.
I know the basics of healing arts, but my skills pale in comparison.
Your lordship! Oh, what a great honor it is to finally meet you! I descended to Dana during the last crown contest also. Alas, when the contender I was backing failed to clinch the title, I returned. I witnessed the deaths of so many slaves.
Indeed.
Sorry to interrupt, but we're looking for a woman dressed all in red. Have you seen anyone of that description?
All red, eh? No, I can't say I remember anyone like that. I imagine she'd stand out somewhat, too.
Yeah. What about down on Dana during the crown contest? You didn't see anyone like that hanging around the lord you were serving?
What's with all these questions? I've never seen her, okay? Not recently or otherwise. Why do you want to find her anyway?
Never mind. Forget I asked. Sorry to take up your time. Is everything okay? You look a little lost.
Oh, yes. I can't seem to find my way home, is all. I was just about to make my umpteenth attempt at a new route.
I was hoping to head this way myself. The situation is a real pain, huh?
I suppose the Sovereign knows best. I daren't stay here too long, though. A lower caste can only linger around these parts for so long before I outstay my welcome. I was hoping to avoid it, but maybe I'll have to go that way after all.
You mean you know another way round?
Lord Dohalim Ilkaris! But how? Last I heard, you were in Dana competing in the crown contest.
Yes, strange, isn't it? If you know another route, we'd be grateful if you could tell us.
But of course. Please forgive me. There's a wall that sprung up ahead of here, with what looks to be an entrance in it. I thought maybe it was a passageway between the different quarters, but I've no way of knowing for sure.
It's worth investigating, at least. I shall go and assess the situation. In the meantime, wait for me here. If it looks safe, I'll come and let you know.
You'd really do that for me? A lord troubling himself for someone of my lowly status?
Our lot in life is of little consequence. We are both Renan, first and foremost.
Oh, why yes, my lord. Thank you.
Well, we've canvassed the city for information. What do you think?
No one has the faintest idea what's happened to this city after all. They haven't heard the news about the crown contest either.
You'd think that info would easily find its way up here. Has it always been like that?
Not to this extent, which would indicate that something's suppressing the truth, that Lenegis is under some kind of control.
Given everything that's happened to their city, the people here seem weirdly okay with it all.
Yeah, that one guy even said Zoogle had stopped listening to him. If that's true, these people are in big trouble.
Everything that happens here is attributed to the Sovereign's will. It's the way people have been conditioned. Their belief runs deep. Nothing happens devoid of a reason. To them, it's all part of the Sovereign's grand plan.
The Sovereign's plan. There is one thing I'm still not sure about. Just who is this person ruling over Lenegis?
The Sovereign, of course. He rules from Rena while presiding over both Rena and Lenegis.
Without the lords or anyone in the middle doing his dirty work? Isn't Rena at least the same size as Dana? That's a pretty big dominion for one person to rule over. I would have thought ruling Lenegis alone would be difficult enough.
The points you make are valid, though I confess I'd never given it much thought before. Here, the Sovereign's total authority is as natural as night turning to day. Come to think of it, I know nothing of the nature of how Rena itself is. Shion, have you ever been... No, forgive me. Have you met or crossed paths with, or even heard of someone who's actually made a visit to the homeland?
No, I haven't.
Neither have I. In which case, I would imagine that... But no, surely not. Can it really be that no citizen of Lenegis has ever been there?
Hold up, what are you getting at, Dohalim?
Assuming what I believe to be correct, it's possible that no one on Lenegis has ever laid eyes on the actual Renan homeworld itself. No one but the Sovereign, that is.
But what about trade and communication? There's got to be a flow back and forth, surely.
Not if the Sovereign is imposing his will on Lenegis single-handedly. It could be a one-way street.
But I thought you said that the Sovereign's all the way over on Rena. If that's the case, can he really rule directly over Lenegis from so far away? What if something were to happen to the city, like now?
I'm beginning to wonder what the nature of this Sovereign even is. Alphen said he was forced into the role, right? Just before the ceremony. But Sovereign is also the title given to the almighty Renan ruler. So which one is it?
Whoever wins the crown contest inherits the throne from his or her predecessor, before becoming ruler over all of Rena and Lenegis. Thereafter, that individual is known as the Sovereign. Though, it would appear that the current ruler has gone silent. As for how Volron factors into all this, at this point, I no longer know what to believe.
3 centuries ago, I became the Sovereign here on Lenegis. No, not just became, I was forced to. Me, a Danon. 300 years later, we cross paths with Volron, who also bears the Sovereign's crest. That's not the only thing we have in common. We both became Sovereign without winning the crown contest.
Do you think Volron was made sovereign for the same reason? Because of that ceremony?
I can't say for sure, but it certainly sounds like it.
But that would mean that 2 sovereigns would need to exist at any one time. One whose job it is to rule, and the other for ceremonial purposes. We never did see Volron's body back in Ganath Haros. Is a new ceremony underway with Volron at its center this time? Could that be what's causing all this strange activity here?
Wait a second. You don't think Volron and the Red Woman are working together, do you? The ceremony can't go forward without the Renis Alma. The same one that the Red Woman stole.
There's something else the ceremony needs. A maiden. And unless there's another one out there aside from me...
Questions, questions, and yet more questions. Ones that it seems will remain unanswered, until we can establish the Sovereign's identity.
If the Forbidden Zone really is off-limits to everyone but the Sovereign, that seems as good a place as any to start. For the sake of liberating Dana, too.
Then it's decided. That's where we need to go.
One of the citizens mentioned a passage that she thought might lead to another section of the city. It could point us in the right direction. Let's go find it! I didn't realize Renans oppressed their own kind, too.
And yet, weirdly, none of them seem to mind. Am I the only one who finds that strange?
It is the way things have always been, so no one thinks to question it. You have experience in that regard yourself, do you not?
Unquestioning acceptance of your own servitude. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Even so, the quality of life here seems much higher than any Danon city we visited. I used to think it was impossible to build an ideal society without wealth. But I suppose having it doesn't always mean people are treated fairly either.
More to the point, not a single citizen seems to have even heard of the Red Woman.
What if she's not here? What if it turns out we're looking in the wrong place entirely?
It's still too early to say anything for sure.
For all we know, she might be able to blend in, move around unnoticed. I say we hold off judgment until we've exhausted every avenue.
Tell me, Dohalim, has that skill of yours got a name?
And what skill would this be, pray tell?
You know, when you're talking to people around town. The way they suddenly become putty in your hands.
I'm afraid I don't quite follow.
I do. It's called friendly intimidation. Look imposing and speak in a deep, booming voice, and presto, you'll have people wrapped around your finger in no time.
I would never stoop to such scandalous tricks. Any feelings of intimidation are solely in the eye of the beholder.
So there is a knack to it! How do you learn it? Can anyone do it?
Now you've got me curious. Is there special training to master?
Let's see. An obsession with being elegant is a must. Oh, and it helps to be old-fashioned, too. Bonus points if you speak in a way no one can understand.
If you've a bone to pick with me, it'd be quicker to just come out and say it.
What? They look up to you, that's all. I'm just helping them along.
Hey! What's got into Alvin and Law all of a sudden?
I can barely understand a word they're saying. And what's with the weird poses? Was it something they ate?
I hope you're willing to take the blame for this one.
I wasn't expecting them to take me so seriously. I'll go and have a word with them.
With nobody left to run the show, I wonder what the people here are supposed to do. I mean, there's sovereigns up on the Renan homeworld, and all their lords were sent to Dana.
But Dohalim was a lord, right?
Only current acting lords have power. Renan society is quite strict about such matters.
Even if the other lords were still around, I doubt they'd be able to do much about the situation.
I wonder what they'd think if they were here to see Lenegis now. Balsif, Ganabelt, Almadria, and Volron. Now that I think of it, aside from Dohalim, we know next to nothing about the other lords.
Well, yeah, why would we? To us Danans, they were just enemies we needed to overthrow. Nothing more.
I know. But seeing Renans in their own city, going about their day-to-day lives, it gets you thinking.
It feels strange to imagine the lords living here too, you mean?
Yeah, a little.
If you're that curious about them, why not try inquiring with some of the locals? Every lord in their household has their share of supporters here on Lenegis. And luckily for us, the people here are unaware of the events on Dana, which means they should be more inclined to talk to us.
Yes! Yes!
Balsef had it in him to care about someone other than himself? Really?
It's possible. A change in position can do much to alter one's perspective.
So even he might have had something he wanted to protect.
I guess she intended to spread it throughout all of Lenegis then.
Good thing the lines were down so she couldn't.
It almost sounded like she was praising them too.
Maybe there was more to the guy than at first glance.
I shall refrain from commenting.
What?
Ganabelt was so horrible to people, yet he was invested in helping Rena succeed. Doesn't that seem just a little inconsistent?
I'm perhaps biased in this matter, I admit. However, in my mind, while all lords vie to become the next sovereign, they're also meant to serve as guardians of all of Rena.
It seems like Ganabelt also had people he cared about until the very end.
So why couldn't he extend that to us Danans?
This area doesn't look as badly damaged as that other district we went through.
Indeed, the effects of Lenegis's transformation appear to be less pronounced here. Or, viewed another way, this area was simply luckier.
Pardon me.
I guess her willingness to stoop to any low came from a survival of the fittest worldview.
And some people here not only shared her belief, but championed it as morally right too.
That doesn't make it true. Too bad they couldn't see through her.
Yeah.
ridiculous. Okay.
Seems like the people on Lenegis don't really know much about Volron either.
I remember being quite surprised when the Lord of Ganeth Harrows changed so abruptly.
Didn't you have any doubts that something suspicious was going on?
On the contrary. Remember, we Renans are raised to accept everything at face value.
When you think about it, the families of Renan lords must see them differently than the rest of us.
Yeah, despite the brutality they're known for.
They must have had a lot on their shoulders, carrying all the weight and responsibilities of Renan society.
Renans live in a world where strength and power determine their position in the social hierarchy, so they tend to grow up fiercely competitive. But their loyalty to their people is also strong. It's what brings them together against outside forces, and nothing exemplifies that more than the Lords.
That's what makes them the guardians of all of Rena, so to speak.
Right. It's the same reason Balsif hated my guts, and Ganabelt went after you. Because we're threats to Rena.
Guess that makes you an even bigger oddball than we thought.
So, Alphen, have you gained anything from all of this?
Yeah. I think it's made me realize that the Lords were all people, too. Balsif and the others, they all had their own circumstances to deal with as they went through life.
Yeah, but still, just because they had loved ones in their lives doesn't mean...
I know. What they did was horrible. I'm not trying to dispute that. But at the same time, they weren't incomprehensible monsters either. They were individuals, just like the rest of us. So I guess what I'm trying to say is...
You're saying that they weren't bad because they were Renans, or because they were terrible monsters. Even if they did terrible things, they were still just people.
Rinwell.
Am I wrong?
Not at all.
Being a Danon doesn't make you a good person. And being a Renan doesn't make you a bad one. I think that's something we've all seen.
Xion and Dohalim definitely make a good case for it.
And I'm going to keep doing my best to make sure I earn that trust. As a fellow human being above all else.
There's something I just don't get.
What is it?
The crown contest itself has always gone ahead as planned, right? In which case, the current sovereign of Rena should be whoever it was that won the previous contest.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, who was it then?
Hanfried Milgras, the former lord of Cislodia, if memory serves.
So then this Hanfried whatchamacallem, he's the current ruler of Rena?
The last I heard, yes. Though, admittedly, I haven't actually seen him since the end of the previous contest.
You're saying that ever since becoming sovereign, he's never actually shown himself on Lenegus?
I guess over holocom maybe, but not in the flesh. Same thing goes for the sovereign that came before him.
Now that you mention it, I don't recall anyone ever visiting Lenegus from the motherland, sovereign or otherwise.
And that never struck you as a little bit odd?
When you live here, it's as if you're conditioned not to notice all these strange quirks and discrepancies. The question is then, by whom? And to what end?
A new Renis Alma is supposedly created to coincide with every crown contest, meaning each victor is awarded their very own. In other words, if that's true, there should be as many of the things out there as there have been contests.
True, but going on what we witnessed in Pelagian, it didn't look like the sort of thing that could be made to order. But if even the victor's speeches have been part of some grand deception, then where are they? Quite frankly, I'm not even sure what to believe anymore.
You and me both. Though we are Renin by blood, neither of us even knew that such a thing as a Dark Master Corps existed, remember?
With any luck, the Forbidden Zone might give us some answers.
No use standing around here chatting about it then. Let's get a move on.
Doe?
Faria.
Varia? Isn't that the person that Avakir guy was...
But why are you here? Wait. Don't tell me you've given up on the crown contest and come crawling back home from Dana already. Nothing to say? Even though you were willing to kill Tarnigan to secure your position as Lord, you still...
Kill?
I'm here to take care of something. If you wish to continue this conversation, I only ask that you wait until I'm finished.
Oh, of course. You always did prefer to take the coward's way out. Even after 7 years and living on that Danon rock, you haven't changed one bit. But let me tell you, I haven't changed either. Not a day's gone by the past 7 years that I haven't hated you.
If killing me will bring you peace, then so be it.
Dohalim, what the hell are you saying?
First, I have business to take care of. If it's vengeance you seek, I will grant you it. But you must wait. My sins are legion. Let me finish what I came to do. Then you have my word. I will let you do whatever brings you peace.
Sure, that's it. Run away like always. You don't even have the courage to die. No wonder you leave it to someone else. You're just a coward!
Dohalim.
I apologize that you had to witness that.
Is it true? What she said about you killing someone?
Each of us have our pasts. I am no exception.
Before, back in Menancia, you mentioned having taken a friend's life over the throne. Is that what she meant?
The mistakes I made there were not my first, and may not be my last. I will say no more.
Did you mean what you said? About letting her take your life if she wanted to?
She has more right to my life than anyone.
But you can't just...
Whatever happens, I have sworn to put an end to the crown contest, and to ensure continued coexistence in Menancia. I have no intention of expiring before I do so. There are far too many questions I still seek answers to. Besides, you have just as much reason to kill me as she does.
Dohalim!
Forgive me. Some things are best left unsaid.
Wow, this place is beautiful!
Yeah, it must be some sort of rest and leisure area for the locals.
You think? Man, these Renan sure know how to live it up, don't they?
Is something the matter, Dohalim?
Before I went down to Dana, my friends and I, we used to gather at this very spot and play music together. Avakir, Faria, and Tarnigan. That was a lifetime ago now.
Tarnigan. He was the one that Faria mentioned, right?
He was once my dearest, closest friend. as well as Faria's betrothed. Despite Faria's lower-class upbringing, she possesses a tremendous talent for music. Entranced by her playing, I helped her overcome her sense of inferiority and introduced her to Tarnagin and Avakir. It was a time of great joy. 4 people bound only by their love of music, with no care for social standing. Only the next song, the next melody.
A friendship based on mutual respect, and a society where everyone is a prisoner to their social class. You really are different, Dohalim.
I suppose it's natural you would see it as strange.
I would have, once. Now, I think the idea of breaking away from society's constraints and choosing your friends based solely on affection is something beautiful that's worth cherishing. Besides, it was that way of looking at the world that laid the foundations for coexistence in Menancia.
Your praise does me too great an honor. I was merely following the wishes of my own heart. And even then, it only lasted until the crown contest began. After that, Tarnagin and I became fierce competitors for the position of Lord. Tarnagin had fallen for Faria. By becoming Lord, he aimed to wrest her from her humble origins and raise her to the highest echelons of society. But fate was not so benevolent.
What happened?
Tarnagin was no match for me in combat. On a level playing field, he wouldn't have stood a chance. But he was desperate and low on options, and he couldn't stand the thought of defeat.
You mean he resorted to dirty tactics to try to win, right? But then why does Faria think... Wait, don't tell me she doesn't know.
How could I tell her? Combined with the trauma of losing her beloved, and by her friend's hand, no less, she would have been devastated.
So instead you let her go on hating you, so she could use that hate as a crutch for her grief?
That's not the same as running away, though.
It is exactly the same. Unable to face the loss of my friend and the burden of my duty. Instead, I decried my fate and looked away from what I'd done. As for what happened after, that you already know.
But if you hadn't become Lord, Menancia wouldn't be what it is now. The Danans there would still be suffering under Renan oppression like before.
Shion's right. What other lord would have treated me as you did? Anyone else and I would have been dead long ago. You've saved so many people, Dohalim. You saved me. It's thanks to you that I'm here today. So, try not to blame yourself. The burden you've placed on your own shoulders is too much for anyone to bear.
Frank as always. But I shall do my best to heed your advice.
Do you think he'll be all right?
Yeah, I think so. He's got Kisara.
It's important to have someone like that.
I didn't realize how difficult it is just to be there for someone.
Sometimes just knowing someone's on your side can be enough. And he knows, Shion. I promise he does.
I hope you're right. Alphen.
Yeah?
I never appreciated until recently just how much you were always there to support me.
It goes both ways. You've helped me keep going more times than I can count.
Maybe, but I still wanted to say thank you.
I see a medic and supply officer over there. If they know you're with me, they'll likely offer their assistance.
What do you say we check back in on the ranch?
Have you guys checked your equipment lately?
Damn it! Lenegis soldiers!
Any way we can avoid fighting them?
That all depends on them. Whatever happens, be ready.
Well, so much for them not wanting to fight.
Ho! I am Lord Dohalim of Elden Menancia. I command you.
The rest of the city must be erased.
No. Have they been brainwashed too?
Brainwashed or not, if they want to fight, they got one.
Field!
Its armor's too strong.
Then split it open!
Be my guest.
A chain between heaven and earth. Blah, 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 magic! Divine savior! Here, brother! Never miss! Divine savior! A chain between heaven and earth. Divine savior! Hear me! Flame of fury! Do it! Blah, blah, blah.
Look sharp!
Lightning Tiger Blade!
Blah, 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 magic! Thunder! Blah, blah, blah. Thunder! Damn it! Thunder! You get the gist. Thunder!
Be still! Rising Falcon!
Tearing you apart! No!
My shield! I'm ready! Severing wind!
Those soldiers seem different from the citizens we've come across so far.
Yeah, they weren't big talkers, that's for sure. They just attacked without warning.
They weren't in the least bit fazed by Dohalim's presence either.
Indeed. They seem to recognize us as enemies, nothing more. And yet, traditionally, Lenegis hasn't been high on threats. A few frenzied Zeugles during experiments here and there, but not much else.
Their glazed-over eyes reminded me of the soldiers and slaves we met back in Ganath Harros. The ones in blind devotion to Volron.
I've never seen anything like that here on Lenegis before.
Maybe someone doesn't want us here, and the soldiers are their way of letting us know.
What with the Red Woman, the Sovereign, and Volron, they're starting to develop quite the growing list of adversaries. At least we'll know to keep our wits about us.
Courteous, aren't you?
Made one. Come
Rise
forth
and
and
eat
heal
dirt!
us with purity!
Prepare to be
Lunar
seized!
Maelstrom!
Can't get out of this! Dragon Form!
Your reflexes will not serve you well.
Between heaven and earth!
Being interested.
Dohalim!
Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis! Glacial chain between heaven and earth!
It's too fast!
Stand back. I'll check it out.
Shining Supernova!
I'm ready!
Field!
In an instant! Impact Block!
Shining Supernova! Thunder Field! I wonder if we can make new weapons with this.
Demon Fang! Armor won't save me! Time to cross blade! Can't get out of this! Demon Fang!
Reload!
Elusive deity!
Field! Annihilation! By the thunder field! Chinese supernova!
Vacuum blade! Bloody howling!
Explosion! This one's mine! Far beyond the
Negative
darkest sky!
gate!
I call upon thee! Shooting star! I can do this all day! Here goes!
Ignite!
Anything
in armor is all mine!
Magic is there! Divine Savior! A Tribhopla! Divine Savior!
Shine! Radiant light! Can't get out of this!
Here's a healing art! In here! First aid! I'll be saving you, Radiant!
Denied!
Spirit Flame! Reload! I will reload! Shooting Star! Barbie!
Not today!
Healing Circle! By the Shooting Star! Finish without a trace! Here's another! More where that came from!
Take this!
Tribhopla!
Smack you!
Burning Cross! Go get Tribhopla! Radiant Steel!
Keep charging us!
That's what my shield's for. Get behind me!
Got it! Leave it to you!
Some punishment?
Do it!
Stay away from my friend! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
We may be a touch beyond our depth.
We barely got a look at the thing. Go no further!
Inside me, yours to
Here!
be
Bring
left free!
I'm hit! Burning Strike! Glacial Spear! Piercing between heaven and earth!
Sonic
Freeze Lancer! I can't let the hatred consume me! Burning Giant Supernova! Glacial Spear! Pierce evil!
I'm ready! In an instant! Impact block! Prepare to be Take this!
Mega Ray! Chain between heaven and earth!
I'm ready!
Unveiling
Commander of Heaven! Phoenix Cyclone!
chain between heaven and earth! Without a trace! A chain between heaven and earth! Magic is there! Alvin! Astral energy!
Say no more!
I need to be stronger.
Right, here
chain
goes!
between heaven and earth!
You picked the wrong one!
Energy of Field!
Take this!
Searing flame! Reload! They really don't give up, do they? Eat dirt!
I'll smash you!
Glacial Spear! Do it! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Here I go! This one's mine! Far beyond the darkest sky! I call upon thee! Shooting star! Far beyond the magic is there! Shooting star! Swing Falcon! Astral energy!
Say no more!
Into the tempest!
Small, but a victory nonetheless.
We have a long way yet to go.
Those soldiers don't seem to have any qualms about attacking on sight.
Is someone making them stand guard over the...
Hi, Hoodle!
Here I come!
Far enough! Mega Ray!
Ignite!
Cyclone!
As if the normal creepy crawly
Magic is there! Burning Super! Freeze Laser!
Smack you!
You get shit! Steel!
Lightning Wyvern!
Divine!
I'll stop its charge!
Thanks, Kisara!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Magic is there! Burning strike! Blah, blah, blah. In here!
Burn in hell!
Here's blah, blah, blah. Fire! You get the gist. Burning strike! Blah, blah, blah. I never miss! Burning strike! You get the gist. Burning strike! Nail strike! First aid! Lunar blast!
I can carve through!
Ready to go! Nail strike!
Join Alpha! Blew away!
First aid!
Bloody holiday! Flash! Demon Fang! Double Demon Fang! This one's all mine!
Chinese supernova!
Elusive Deity!
Laser field!
Sonic Spear! Double Demon Fang!
Chinese
Demon
supernova!
Fang! Double Demon Fang! Demon Fang! Double Demon Fang!
Evil!
Shot! Radiant Light!
Thunder field!
Regeneration! Regenerate! Swallow Blade!
Another incantation ruined.
Celestial!
Free from regret.
First time! Not in your dreams!
Armor won't save you! Here I come! Down on the ground! Stay away from my friend!
Lunar blast!
Time to let it rip! Finish it!
Elvin! Astral energy!
Say no more!
We're still standing. Barely.
An opponent like this should be easy. Not today!
Rise and win!
Thank you!
Far beyond the darkest stars! You will bow out nice, then you leave me no choice!
You
Nothing gets by me!
In a bind?
Do it!
Kisara! All yours, Kisara! Ready and raring! You're mine! Now you see what I can do! This one's mine!
A chain between... Divine faith! A chain between heaven and earth! Magic is there! Divine faith! The blah blah blah! Divine savior! Mega ray! Don't get in my way! A chain between heaven and earth! A wailing banshee of lightning! I'll take it from here. Let's see how you handle this! Deus Roar! I gave that one everything I had.
No
Chain
choice!
between heaven and earth.
Anything in armor is all mine! Now you see what I can do!
It's like trying to keep up with a wolf. You down. Divine
Burn in hell!
annihilation. Divine savior. Reload. Divine savior.
Can't get out of... I'm ready!
Alvin, astral energy.
Say no more!
A chain between heaven and earth.
No further!
A wailing banshee of lightning. Divine savior. A chain between
I have
heaven
no
and earth.
limits!
Magic is there. Divine savior. Here's evil. Sweet dreams.
I'm ready! Double me! In an instant! Impact block!
My exploits are bearing fruit. courteous,
between
aren't
heaven
you?
and earth.
Fierce evil!
Freeze Lancer! A chain between heaven and earth.
Glacial
Wailing
in a vine!
A chain between heaven and earth. Freeze Lancer! A whip!
Leave the chargers to me!
They smite with black blade.
Denied!
The enemy wields arts too.
We'll soon see about that.
I'm ready! All yours, Kisara.
Far beyond the target.
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Glacial Spear.
I'll smash you! You picked the wrong fight! I'm ready!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Far beyond the darkest sky! I call water! Here I
Catch
go!
it out of sight!
Far beyond the magic is in! Shooting star! One more!
Finish it!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Let's refrain from losing. This must be it. The entrance to the Forbidden Zone.
But it's just a wall. How do we get through?
Whoa, we? I thought this was Sovereigns only.
Alphen.
Yes! It opened!
Interesting. If Alphen's presence still opens the way, it would seem the Sovereign of 3 centuries ago and now are considered one and the same.
What?
What the?
Alphen.
You again.
Tomorrow's the spirit channeling ceremony. We'll finally play our parts as the Sovereign and Maiden. How have you been feeling?
What am I sovereign of? Shuffled from lab to lab, always treated like an experiment. Whenever they look at me, all they see is a Dahnan. I don't even know what their precious ceremony's for, let alone what they're going to force me to do as the Sovereign. Tell me, if we're both in the same boat, why do you seem so calm right now?
No choice. Becoming the Maiden's not something I wanted for myself. But they said Rena's prosperity depended on it. How could I say no after that?
Still, as a Renan, at least you got to decide. Good for you. Meanwhile, I was taken from my homeland. You aren't the captive one here.
It isn't right what they did to you, and I'm sorry for what it's worth. When this is over, I swear I'll help you get home. I can't do this alone. One more day.
How could I say no to that? It's not like I have any choice in the matter anyway. So, what's your name?
It's Naori. Naori Imaris. Try to remember this time.
You don't act like them. Like the other Renans, I mean. How come you treat me like a person?
Because you are. It's true we come from different worlds. But neither one of us asked to be here right now. In that sense, you and I are much the same. We couldn't do this. We wouldn't be able to talk to each other as people if we didn't see the humanity in each other. So I suppose the question you should be asking is, why wouldn't I treat you like one?
You're not like the others.
Maybe they're not like me.
Here's what we'll do. We give them their damn ceremony. You get me to Dana. That'll be the end of it. I'm taking you at your word on this. I'm trusting you, not them. Naori.
What the hell just happened?
That vision. Did everyone else see it too?
That person Alphen was speaking to, she looked exactly like Shion.
It was Naori. Naori Imaris. Isn't that right?
Yeah, that's right.
She really does look like Shion. I'm beginning to see why Alphen was so confused.
That's all very well and fine, but what did we just witness exactly? It was too real to be a mere hallucination.
It was a conversation we had 300 years ago. The night before the ceremony.
You mean all of that really happened? We just saw an episode straight out of your past?
But how is that even possible? Unless... Could this be the Red Woman's handiwork too?
No, I don't think so.
Why not?
You guys didn't feel it? The moment the entrance opened, it was like a stream of Danon astral energy rushing over us.
I felt it too. And not for the first time either. It was the same sensation as back inside the wedge.
That would make sense. After all, vast amounts of Dana's astral energy were being siphoned and sent up here to Lenegus. For all we know, perhaps we're close to the spot where all that energy was stored.
So you think it might have been the energy itself that was responsible for that vision we just saw? But how? And why?
We have no way of knowing. Maybe it's not even as deliberate as all that.
Shion, you okay?
Yeah. It was all just a little sudden. That's all. So that was my ancestor, huh? It was like looking into a mirror.
Yeah, there certainly is a resemblance.
What about you? How are you holding up?
Me?
Even putting aside the question of where that vision came from, it's likely we'll see more of those. Reliving painful episodes from your past. Do you think you can handle it?
I can't just pretend like the past never happened. Besides, if it helps us uncover the truth of what that ceremony really was, it might also lead to answers about your thorns.
Alphen.
That's not all. This whole time, we've been fighting to free Dana from the Renans. But now that we're here, it seems those same Renans might have it just as bad. I'd like to liberate them too if I can. Which is just another reason I can't afford to shield my eyes from the truth.
Whether you're on Dana or somewhere else, you always stay the same. Your indignation and righteous passion, your desire to free and protect, they're all hardwired into you. Not that I'm complaining. Come on, let's bust this thing wide open.
Nobody's here.
Stay sharp. After that last illusion, there's no telling what could happen in here.
Looks like we made it here in one piece.
Have you guys checked your equipment lately?
Between heaven and earth.
This one's mine.
Bloody hell! Chain between heaven and earth. These ones can run rings around us. A chain between heaven and earth. Divine savior.
Negative gate.
A chain between heaven and earth. A wailing banshee of lightning. Divine savior. A chain between heaven and earth.
Too fast.
Allow
stand back.
Divine savior.
Down on the ground. It's
Lunar corruption! A chain between heaven and earth. A wailing banshee of lightning! Divine savior! A chain between heaven and earth. Blah, 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 magic! Divine... I'm ready for the next battle.
Anything in armor is all mine. Now see what I can do. The flaming tiger refuses to be let free. Soaring blast.
A chain between heaven and earth. A wailing banshee
No
of
further.
lightning. Divine safe. A chain between heaven and earth. Blah, 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 magic. Sleep now.
This one keeps charging us.
That's what my shield's for. Get behind me.
Done. I'll leave it to you.
Here goes. Radiant.
Another incantation ruined.
Ignite.
One last one. First aid.
Go time. No time to break this night.
Through armor.
Mega ray. Annihilation. Mega ray. Seal. Aqua. One more. Magic is there. Divine seal. You get the gist.
Now we're level. No further.
All disaster. Magic is there. Finish without a trace. All blah blah blah. A chain between heaven and earth.
Armor's being interrupted.
Here's that club. First aid. Sorry, blah blah blah. Shooting star.
I'll smash you.
By the power of...
Behold, the Earth's pulse. Tectonic fission.
All disaster magic is there. Dance run. Far beyond you get the
Resonate with
gist.
the Earth. Stalagmite.
You get the gist. Burning sword.
You do the same for me. Hurricane thrust.
I never miss. You get the gist.
Shine.
Shooting
Radiant
star.
light.
Far beyond.
This isn't looking good.
Leave the chargers to me. Denied.
I have no limits.
Far beyond the darkest sky. I call upon thee.
At least it's easy.
Far beyond
Soaring
the
blast. You. Sonic spear. Take this.
Shooting.
Soaring
You get the
blast.
gist.
Coming through. Ha! Melt. Scarlet Inferno. Shine. Radiant light.
Blah blah blah.
Tectonic shield.
Divine safe. You get the gist. Mega ray. Divine safe.
I don't even know the word defeat.
Into the shadows. You get the gist.
Take
Divine
this.
safe. Blah blah blah.
Do it!
Shield.
This one's got your name on it!
Action to action.
We're still standing. Barely.
Coming
chain
through.
between heaven and
Now
earth.
you'll learn!
No further!
Divine water between heaven and earth.
Inside me, yours to be
Engaging!
I'm ready!
All yours, Kisara!
A chain between heaven and earth.
Leave the ensnaring to me.
Yeah, and the pummeling to me.
Take this!
Here's a healing art.
And more.
I'll take it from here. Let's see how you handle this! Deus Roar!
Shield!
This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes!
Do it!
A chain between heaven and earth.
Lunar corruption! A close one! I'm all stuffed up! Take that! Here's another!
How much longer will our healing... Arts last.
Let's dispose of the trash.
Take this!
A wailing bounty of lightning!
Can't get out of this!
Divine safety!
Leave the agile ones.
Anything in armor is all mine!
Glacial spear! Here's evil!
Burn!
A chain between heaven and earth.
Freeze lancer! Divine
Burn in hell!
Can you take it?
Divine savior! Lunar corruption! Who wants to die next?
I'm ready!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Step back. This one's all law.
Faria, how did you get in here?
Wait, something about her isn't right.
What's wrong with her? She doesn't even seem to know where she is.
Yeah, you're right. She looks just like the soldiers we encountered outside.
A summoning?
But that's preposterous. She never had that kind of power when...
We can talk later. Here it comes!
What? I've never known Faria to control Zugos like that before.
How about with the stone? stone that looks suspiciously like a masterpiece.
Where did she get her hands on that?
First we handle the students, then we get some answers.
I
exploit the enemy.
Flame Lancer! Shoot it!
Swallow blade! Resonate with the earth!
Divine Savior!
Poison plasma! Take this! Rending you apart! Hurricane thrust!
Let them march!
Bloody howling!
Shooting star! Shooting star! Healing circle!
Double demon fang!
Divine Savior!
Yours to be let free!
Divine Savior! One
You
more!
can't get out of this!
Go! Divine Savior!
Armor won't save you!
Here's a healing art! Burning strike!
Now, fall it freely!
Take it down! Hit! Take that! Annihilation! Shooting star!
A charge like that could easily be fatal.
Just as well, I'm here to stop.
Shooting star!
Can't end here!
Don't give up!
Leave the chargers to me.
Another incantation ruined.
Divine Savior! A chain between heaven and earth. Burning, a wailing,
Shattering the pieces! Heal my demon! Cure! In a bind?
a chain between heaven and earth. Lightning!
Far enough.
Is this in the sky?
Radiant
Do it here!
generation!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
A chain between heaven and earth. Hear my call! Sea of lightning! Spread! Glacial spear! A chain between heaven and earth. Blah, blah, blah! This one's mine! Divine! It's about to strike!
Stir up, everyone!
Close one! Hear my call! Spread!
Here's
Evil! Blah, blah, blah! Freeze Lancer!
Leave the charges to me! Can't get out of
You
this!
get the death! Divine State! You get the death!
Denied.
Allow me to help you.
A chain between heaven and earth. I'll heal you all! A wailing banshee of divine lightning! Between heaven and earth. Seven-Eye Aqua! A wailing banshee of lightning! Divine State! Blah, blah, blah. Divine
Ready and ready! Armor won't save you!
Here, let me help. Close one. You get the death. Divine Savior! Blah, blah, blah. Divine Savior! Barbie, blah, blah, blah. It's weakened.
This ends now!
Blah, blah, blah. Divine Savior! Blah, blah, blah. Not in your dreams.
We caught him on the run.
I dug it comes.
Right.
Divine
Still anyone's fight.
I'll bring you back. Sorry. It's a bit.
Take this!
Resuscitation!
Swirling Alpha!
Far enough.
Raining Slash! Into the flame inside me! Yours to be let free!
Heal! Resuscitation!
Dazzle! Rising
Still got to
Falcon!
fight left in Radiant Light!
Can you take it?
A chain between heaven and earth.
Rising Falcon!
A
Here comes the
wailing
big one!
banshee of a chain between heaven and earth. A chain between heaven and earth. Finish divine Savior!
Not today!
A chain between blah blah blah. Divine Savior! You get the death. Divine Savior!
No, forgive me.
Divine Savior! You get the death.
From beyond.
Divine
Ready and rare! Soul for life!
Blah blah blah. Far enough.
I need
Between heaven and
something.
earth. You need to be healed.
How the mighty have fallen.
Ready.
Finish it!
Sion, astral energy, full throttle. Go!
Now it's just her! Faria! Can you hear me? Faria!
She's preparing another summoning.
The art she's casting is way too powerful to control. At this rate, her body won't be able to take much more. Dohalim!
Forgive me.
Man, I thought we were goners.
Everything okay?
Yes. She's only unconscious.
Not her. I meant you.
Shion, please. Can you treat her?
I can try, but I can't promise she'll be back to her real self when she wakes up. All I can do is heal her physically.
We're not even supposed to be in here. Maybe it'd be better if we moved her to somewhere a little safer. Don't you think?
In that case...
I'll take her off your hands.
You?
Avakir, what are you doing here?
I was curious what you were up to, so I took the liberty of following you to find out. I overheard what you said about Tarnigan, about how he really died. I'm sorry, I had no idea.
And you believed me? What makes you so sure I wasn't lying?
I like to think I know you a little better than that, Dohalim. Give me some credit. I'll take Faria. Leave her with me. I know better than to ask what you're up to. But whatever it is, I hope it all works out.
Thank you.
He seems like a good friend.
He hasn't changed. He never was one to stand out. Instead, he was always hanging back, worrying about everyone else. As for Faria, it's always the closest to me who get hurt.
You don't seriously blame yourself for what happened to her, do you?
Somebody got to her, to strike back at me. Someone who knew me well enough to know that I'd hesitate to fight back. And the same goes for you as well. Neither you nor Faria would have lost loved ones, if it wasn't for me.
You're wrong. Kelzelik was the one who killed my brother, under orders from Almadria. As for Tarnigan, if it weren't for the crown contest, he'd still be alive. That and the whole damn hierarchy that makes it possible. But that's why we're fighting. To put an end to this whole messed up system that treats people as expendable.
Indeed. Ridding society of this blight is really the only way I know how to atone for my sins.
You can't atone, Dohalim. I know it hurts to hear, but those people are dead. No amount of soul-searching or trying to make amends is going to change that. Forgiveness, acceptance, those ships have sailed.
So I just forget the harm I caused?
No, the opposite, in fact. You remember. You never forget. You keep it in your heart always. And then you go on living. Not for those already passed, but for those still alive.
For those still alive.
Kisara's right. So long as we've still got breath in our bodies, we can make a difference in the lives of others. Lives being the operative word.
That's what living's all about. Being able to still make a difference. Punishing yourself for the past won't make the pain of your conscience go away.
Only fixing the problem in its stead. Is that what you're saying?
That's right. You have to live for tomorrow, Dohalim, not for yesterday. And not only that, you need to live for yourself, and for the change that you still can be.
I shall try.
Don't forget, we've still got a mystery to solve. The Forbidden Zone, remember?
Shion.
Huh?
Thank you. You have my deepest gratitude for what you did for Faria.
Glad to be of service.
I'm glad we could stop Faria without hurting her.
You all did much for her as well. I'm most grateful.
Oh, shucks. We're on the same team, right? Let's move on.
Do you think Faria was really being controlled by someone?
Certainly seemed that way. The question is, who? The Red Woman?
The same person who's behind all of this, I'll bet. Whoever that is.
Brainwashed or otherwise, the feelings of resentment she holds towards me are real.
Someone used her because they knew we'd hold back. If that's not playing dirty, I don't know what is.
It does tell us one thing at least. Someone here in Lenegis is watching us. Someone who means us harm.
There's no question. That attack was meant for us alone.
By someone capable of getting inside a person and manipulating them like a weapon. We need to find whoever it is, fast.
What is it, Rinwell? Do you hear something again?
Yeah. It's that voice.
The will of Dana's astral energy.
What? There's so much astral energy. But where's it all coming from? It's almost like it's alive.
That was the spirit channeling ceremony just now. No, it was more than that.
What the hell was that? It felt like everything was on the brink of... like the whole world was seconds from...
Oblivion. It's the same vision as the one my thorns show me. A vision of impenetrable darkness that swallows up us and everything else.
An empty void. A nothing so complete and dominating that there aren't even words to describe it. The end of time.
The visions of the apocalypse you've been seeing. If I'd known how bad they were,
So, everything we just saw, those were Naori's memories, right?
That's right. It was as if her innermost thoughts were speaking directly to us. At least I know they weren't mine.
That power flowing into her. It reminds me of Shion's thorns. If they're what's responsible for all these visions she's been having, then maybe...
Maybe my thorns are made from that same astral energy?
If that is the case, we just found the missing link between your thorns and what happened here 3 centuries ago. No, more than a link. Perhaps even the very heart of the matter.
I've never felt astral energy so powerful. What was that?
If it's the same energy your thorns are made of, it must be dark astral energy, right? And isn't that something only Renans have?
Correct. Dark astral energy is possessed by Renans alone.
And when enough astral energy gathers together, it develops its own form of sentience. If so, maybe that complete oblivion is exactly what the Renan astral energy's will is wishing for. But why?
I don't know. Will can be a pretty vague thing to nail down. It's more of a feeling, just like the will of Dana.
But the will of Dana is made up of astral energy too, right? And if that's what's been showing us these visions... I don't know, should we really be getting so involved with this thing?
Dana's will would never want oblivion.
But you can't say that for sure.
Cut it out, you two. Squabbling over theories will get us nowhere.
Let's keep moving. If it's Dana's will showing us these memories, then I'm as clueless about its motives as any one of us. But if it could lead us to the truth, then I want to find out more.
Shion's right. All we can do is keep going. If these really are Naori's memories we're watching, there could be truths in them I was never aware of. And I think they may be the kinds of truths I need to confront if we're going to keep fighting.
I'm sorry about what I said earlier. Come on, let's go.
Finally, we begin to understand what the thorns are.
Yes, and their source. A ceremony that occurred 3 centuries ago.
But we still don't know how to get rid of them. I just hope we can find a way.
That vision we saw. It was as if it was meant specifically for us.
What do you make of it? Do you still think the will of Dana might be involved somehow?
Maybe it's trying to tell us something. But what?
Well, it could be supernatural. You know, like seeing dead people, messages from beyond the grave, ghost-type stuff.
That's your grand theory? That we're being haunted? Come on, Law.
Wait. He might be closer to the mark than you think. What if a person's thoughts and deeds were to somehow become indelibly etched into the ether of a place? And what if those with a connection could then somehow pick up on them?
You think that's what it was? Some kind of message someone left here for us?
I am merely entertaining the possibility. Whether it was Dana's will, or somehow connected to the Sovereign and Maiden's powers, I do not know.
Okay, back up a sec. You're saying that if a place is full of enough astral energy, it can somehow show us events that happened centuries ago?
More to the point, how does that much astral energy gather in one place anyway? Seems unlikely it happened naturally.
Whatever it was, it survived here intact for 300 years. Whoever left it for us, the strength of their intent is beyond doubt.
The strength of their intent? Soon, we might very well learn the truth behind Shion's thorns, as well as my own past. I have to be ready to face anything. Whatever happens. I just need a little time first.
Looks like we made it here in one piece.
Have you guys checked your equipment lately?
Easy peasy. I knew I could handle it.
We've reached our destination.
I won't forgive you! Between heaven and earth. A willing divine savior!
Let's keep our eyes on the prize.
You guys want to rest here? Hey, Shion. Got any requests for supper tonight?
Me? Not really. I'm fine with just about anything. Everything you cook is delicious.
Well, thank you. Seeing you devour my food makes all the work I put into it well worth it.
Do I look that eager to you?
Nothing wrong with that. We all have to eat to survive. It makes me happy to see people eat their fill on what I fix.
I'm not sure how to respond to that.
Shion, about that fight just now.
Sorry about that. I was careless.
I didn't come to criticize you. Just please take better care of yourself.
You don't need to worry about me. In case you forgot, I can't exactly die anyway. It's like how you used to not care about getting beat up because you couldn't feel pain, and then I was the one to patch you up. It's the same thing.
You're right. That is how I used to be. But this isn't the same.
Then what do you mean? How is what's happening now different from what happened then?
It's different now.
Look, if you mean because you can feel pain again,
It's because I don't want to see you getting hurt. You're right. When I couldn't feel any pain, I put myself in all sorts of dangerous situations. I didn't listen to anybody's warnings, and I made a lot of people worried for no good reason. It was foolish. This isn't about you and me being able to take pain. I don't want to have to see you get hurt, Shion. It's too much for me to take. Is that a crazy thing to say?
No, it isn't. And I definitely don't like seeing you get hurt either, Alphen. We can't expect our enemies to show us any mercy, but I will do my best not to throw myself in harm's way out there either. How does that sound?
I'm sorry if I sounded harsh earlier. I didn't mean to. I just really want you to take better care of yourself.
I will. At least, for as long as I can.
What? Hey guys, I don't see any of our food anywhere.
What?
I know! The bag we kept it all in has vanished! Some Zoogles must have gotten in behind us and swiped the whole thing while we were fighting.
What?
Huh? What are you guys talking about?
This affects you too, you know! We lost all our food, including all those sweets you love so freaking much!
What? How could this happen? Those sweets are the highlight of my day! Oh, so hungry.
Hunger is like that. The moment you know there's nothing you can do about it, it becomes that much more unbearable.
Whoever did this, I swear I'm gonna make them pay for stealing our supplies.
All that's left now is this one lonesome apple.
Law?
What? Hey, don't look at me like that. I picked this apple myself. I'm not just gonna...
Food.
Hand it over.
Stay away! Ah!
Hey, I'm back. Huh? What the heck happened here?
Only a poignant reminder of how dangerous a food shortage can be in a collective. A serious problem indeed. And one we should all be mindful of.
I see. Does it have anything to do with why you're holding our food supply bag behind your back?
This came out so good. I almost hate having to eat it. Hoodle, no, that's mine.
Never thought I'd see you fighting Hootle over food of all things. Normally, you share everything you have with him.
Yeah, but this is a fancy parfait. Every girl dreams of having one of these.
Is it really that big of a deal?
Please don't bring me into this.
It's always nice to eat something that fulfilling.
I can't believe I actually get to have it all for myself. Every little bite makes me so happy.
But isn't that parfait gonna cost you quite a lot more than your regular ice cream choice?
That's all the more reason for me to enjoy it. Everyone knows it takes lots and lots of sweets to stay full of energy.
Everybody, a cream monster has devoured Rinwell.
At times such as these, it would be best to just let her do as she wishes.
Yeah, definitely.
Dohalim's right. If someone's trying to enjoy their favorite food, just leave them to it and don't bother them.
Yep, can't argue with that.
I don't get women.
So good!
Shion, could we talk a moment?
I thought you had something to talk about. I was waiting on you.
Not really. Why? Should I leave you alone when I don't?
No, it's fine.
We used to really have to force these conversations when we started talking to each other, didn't we?
To say the least. Hey.
What is it?
Do you think you'd like to make something together?
Make what exactly?
Just if you wanna make dinner together. What did you think I meant?
Huh? Dinner? Dinner! Yes! Yes, of course! Dinner! Right.
What did you think I was talking about?
No, it's nothing. Don't worry about it. Anyway, what did you have in mind?
Well, do you recognize these ingredients?
This is... Wait, is this?
So you remember? That's right. We're going to fix the very first meal we ever had together. Although I remember it not being well received when we had it.
You still remember that, huh? I'm sorry, Shion.
I'm just teasing you, Alphen. I picked this recipe because it's easy to make, and I thought it would be a good choice for dinner, too. Anyway, let's get to work. With both of us making it, we should be finished in no time.
I never thought we'd end up eating alone like this again. Just the two of us.
Yeah. So much has changed when you look back on it. Well, I guess maybe not what we're eating, but still.
No, I'd say even that's changed too, in a sense. Our meals are a whole lot better now.
True. We've both come quite a long way in the culinary arts.
That's not exactly what I mean. How do I put it? It feels like eating together is a lot more enjoyable than it used to be.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Even after our battles are done, when Dana is saved and our mission is finished, we'll probably still be sitting down to dinner like this, night after night.
Yep, I doubt that much will change. You've always got to eat at some point.
I hope our dinners will always feel like this.
Maybe not exactly like this. Hopefully we won't still be camping out.
Oh, no, not at all. I meant in a nice, warm house. One with a roof over our heads and a proper fireplace, instead of an open campfire.
And real chairs instead of these logs. Nice plates and silverware on a big dining table. Oh, and a proper kitchen. That'd be nice too.
And when it's time to fix dinner, we'll be in that kitchen.
Standing side by side.
Whoops. Looks like we made too much. I don't think we'll be able to finish all this.
Yeah, you're right. I'll see if anybody else is still awake. I'd really hate to have to throw it away.
Side by side, huh?
I'm looking forward to breakfast. Come on, guys. We've got lots to do.
Something feels odd here. Be on your guard.
Right, here
Anything
goes!
in armor is
all mine!
The everlasting dark.
Radiant
Negative
clear!
gate! Rending you
Shooting
apart!
star! Searing
Bloody
between heaven and earth! Airborne beam! A whale divide!
Finish it!
Dohalim!
Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis!
Let's keep our eyes on the prize.
Forgive you! Heaven and earth!
I can handle it.
Radiant here! Divine Savior! Far beyond the darkest sky!
Nice. No scratches on my shield or my armor.
Divine Savior! A chain between heaven and earth! Oh, it's a duel of the arts! Sweet dreams!
Small, but a victory nonetheless.
We have a long way yet to go.
Marksman handled this. I never miss. This one's mine.
Here I come! Bloody howler!
Shoot it! Not on my watch. Sweet dreams. I'm not so good with airborne targets.
Reflect on light. They smite with blackened blade!
I'm practically unstoppable.
Dispose of the trash.
No further!
A wailing banshee of lightning! Divine Savior! Came between heaven and earth! A wailing... Divine Savior!
Don't get careless.
Between heaven and earth. And again. A wailing banshee of divine Savior. I never miss. Here goes. Sweet dreams.
comfortable win.
Get far beyond the darkest skies! I call upon thee! Hurricane strike! Shooting star! Far beyond the darkest skies! I call upon thee! Shooting star! Far beyond the darkest skies! I call up shooting star!
Sion, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done!
Nice. No scratches on my shield or my armor.
Sleep now! Here! Meteor storm! Mega field! Back into the fight!
A comfortable win.
No backing down!
Burning strike! A chain between us, not in your dreams! Here! Divine Savior! Divine Savior! Breezeland Burning strike! This is it!
Pesky airborne scoundrels.
Sounds like a job for yours truly! Here goes!
Now I'm in the groove!
Nice. No scratches on my shield or my armor.
That's far enough!
No further!
Flame of fury!
I'm on it!
Burning strike! Glacial
Very
steel!
well.
Here's the evil! I win! More of that can't
Inferno crossing! Step back! This one's all law!
Out of my way!
Water! Burning hear my call! Not on my watch! Hurricane! Burning steel! Here's the evil! Divine Blazer! Burning strike! I'm on a roll! I'm gone!
Everyone still in one piece?
Yep. I barely worked up a sweat.
Seriously? Is this a joke?
Burning strike! Attack!
Look sharp!
In here!
I'm on a roll!
Fire! Eruption! I'm on a roll!
Piercing roar!
Arc shield! Burning strike!
Let's refrain from losing.
Use evil! Field! Freeze Lancer! Fire!
Look sharp!
Looks like we got them all.
Hi, Hoodle! Hear me! Flame of Fury! Burning Strike!
Water!
Here! Flood! Thunder Field! Burning Shining Supernova! Flood! Far beyond the That'll bring you down! I call upon thee!
The enemy wields arts too.
We'll soon see about that!
Water! Hear my call!
Barf, you get the gist!
Swallow dance!
Shooting star!
Let's keep our eyes on the prize.
Out of our way! Here's another Hurricane Bullseye!
Watch this! Strike!
Here goes!
Hurricane
Seems about right to me.
Looks like we made it here in one piece.
Have you guys checked your equipment lately?
No backing down! I'm on it!
Enemies immobilized.
Now you see what I can do!
Shooting
Do it!
star!
John!
Get toasty!
Bird strike!
Let's keep our eyes on the prize. That enemy looks strong. I bet it...
We're in for a long slog with this one.
I never miss. Far beyond the darkest sky. I call upon thee.
Glacial Spear.
Here's evil. Ready. Far beyond the darkest sky.
Eat this!
Shooting star.
Look sharp, finish you here and now!
Eagle assault. Hang burning.
In a bind?
Glacial Spear.
I'm on a roll now!
Freeze Lancer.
Eat this!
Star.
Anything in armor is
Here
all
I
mine! These fists have got your name on them!
Spread.
Glacial Spear.
Here's evil.
Charging us!
That's what my shield's for. Get behind me.
Got it! I'll leave it to you!
Eat this!
This one's mine!
Come and get it!
Lightning strike. Here. Far beyond. Blah blah blah. Shooting star.
Make it rain.
Doubling.
Light burst 4!
Radiant Citizen.
Step back! This one's all law!
I'll do my
Between
best.
heaven and earth. Hear me, flame of fury! A wailing banshee of
Glacial
light
Spear.
Here's the evil between heaven and earth. Freeze Lancer. I'm on a roll.
Barely a blip on our radar.
Out of my way.
A chain between heaven and earth.
Let the marksman handle this.
A wailing banshee of
In a bind?
sleep now.
Anything in armor is all
Explosion.
mine!
Divine savior. Burning strike. Sweet dreams. Divine savior.
Barely a blip on our radar. We've reached our destination.
No backing down!
Do you require a hand?
Here. Not on my watch.
Look sharp! Down!
Lunar shooting star.
Eagle assault!
Maelstrom. Maelstrom.
Flying free! Why can't they just sit still?
Sia, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done.
Look sharp!
Lightning Tiger Blade!
Far beyond the darkest sky.
The enemy wields arcs too.
We'll soon see about that.
Looks like we got them all.
Hear me, flame of fury. Burning. This one's mine. All disasters made. You have to aim for the bright area on their back. Maelstrom. All disasters
You got fire!
I've got this. Let a marksman handle it.
Too strong! All yours! Be my guest!
Do it. You get bonus your attack. This one's got your name on it.
Ashes to ashes!
All disasters made one. Helix of Maelstrom.
Smash you!
Far beyond the darkest sky.
I'll take you all on. Flare the Malisa!
All disasters made one!
Make it rain!
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
He managed to pull through.
Forgive you! Heaven and earth!
Dragon
A
Shell!
wailing bird! Divine State! A chain between heaven and earth!
Take cover when it curls up!
Lightning! Divine State! A chain between heaven and earth! All disasters made!
Now or never.
Searing flame!
No further.
Maelstrom! All disasters made! Reload! Maelstrom! Maelstrom! There you get the gist!
Shattering
Maelstrom!
pieces!
A charge like that can easily be
See what I
fatal.
can
Just as well, I'm here to stop.
You get the gist!
Look sharp! Nicely done.
Disasters made one! Come forth, the healing gift of Maelstrom! All disasters made one! Come forth, the healing of purity!
Water,
here I call! Not on my watch! Do it! Shooting star!
Pesky airborne scoundrels.
Blade sounds like a job for you truly.
Armor won't save you!
Freeze Lancer! I'm on a
You require a hand.
Whirlwind Snap! I'll finish you here and now!
Do it!
Hey, I'm pretty lucky.
Out of our way! Disasters made one! Come forth, the healing power of Maelstrom! All disasters made one! Far beyond the darkest sky!
Is it cool? Time to get out of
If it's in the
here.
sky, it's mine!
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Far beyond the darkest sky! I call upon thee!
You should have messed with me!
Thanks, Kisara! Maelstrom! You get the gist!
Glacial Fire!
Maelstrom!
Anything in armor is all
Go
mine!
here! Blah, blah, blah! Maelstrom!
Dragon Shell!
Go do it! One last one!
Demon's Descent! Flashing Fang!
Far beyond the darkest sky! Our eagle fly!
What? Do it! Challenge Power! Demon's Descent! Flashing Fang!
Barely a blip on our radar.
Go no further! Disasters made one! Come forth!
Not today!
Maelstrom! All disasters...
The bigger they are, the harder they fall.
Maelstrom! All disasters made one!
for the weak point.
Maelstrom!
Deny! Do it! Law! I'll stop your movement!
And I'll stop your life!
Well then, let's keep moving.
Hi, Hoodle!
No further!
Maelstrom!
Carve through
Their
one!
hide is thick as armor. Xeon, astral energy, full throttle! Sorry, not on my watch! By the power of water!
This one keeps charging us!
That's what my shield's for. Get behind me.
Good! I'll leave it to you!
Burning strike!
Make it rain!
Nail! I never miss! Barb, you get the gist. Shooting star!
Everyone still in one piece?
Yep. I barely worked up a sweat. Little help!
Look sharp!
First one!
This one's all mine!
Piercing roar!
Are those rocks extinct?
Hurricane
It's time!
Go for the weak point! Divide state! A chain between heaven and earth! Blah, 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 magic!
Far enough!
Divide
Now you see what I can do!
You get the gist! And again!
Oh, now I'm real mad!
Divide state! A chain between astral energy! Full throttle! A chain between heaven and earth! A wailing bounty of divide state!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Take I never miss! A chain between heaven and earth! A wailing bounty of lightning!
Well then, let's keep moving.
Get lost! Disasters made one! Come!
Take this!
Strike on!
You made me angry. That was a bad idea.
All disasters made one! Come forth! A healing Maelstrom! First aid! Maelstrom! By the power of flame! Maelstrom!
I'll take you all on. Ha! Flare the Malisa!
All
This one's all mine!
I'll smash you!
healing circle!
I really don't want
Onward and upward.
Seriously? Is this a joke?
Come forth! A healing not in your dreams! Let the marksman handle this! Shooting star! Here's evil! Maelstrom! Maelstrom! Here I go! This is it! Maelstrom! Here
I'll bring you down.
Maelstrom!
A comfortable win.
no backing down!
Dead on my watch! Gemini
This
Aqua!
one's mine!
Denied!
Mega Ray!
Rip it!
Maelstrom! All disasters!
Can't get out of this! Rolling
Maelstrom! Blah, blah, blah. Maelstrom!
Carve through one!
I'm on a roll! Shooting
Make it
star!
rain!
Blah, blah, blah. This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Looks like we won.
dispose of the trash.
That freaking does it!
All disasters made one! I'm ready!
Chain between heaven and earth.
The power of flame!
Divine
Savior!
Armor won't save you!
Divine Savior!
I'll tear you apart! Now I'm in the groove!
Not on my watch! Burning strike! Divine Savior!
You see what happened there as you crossed me? Shouldn't have done that!
Shooting star!
Hurricane!
Burning! Divine Savior! Lunar
This was all mine!
Hurricane Plasma!
Anything in armor is all mine!
Chain between heaven and earth.
Talon Hurricane!
A wailing gauge of divine Savior!
Chain
Do
between
it!
lock.
Demons descend! Flashing fang!
A chain between heaven and earth.
How about this?
A wailing gauge of divine
Damn it! A chain between heaven and earth.
Magic descent! Do it! Alpin! Astral energy!
Say no more.
I need to be stronger.
Get lost! Searing flame! Far beyond the darkest sky! I piercing will!
A chain between
Magic descent! I go for the weak
Bless you!
Hurricane strike! Here goes! Water! Hear my going! Alpin! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished.
Radiant flame! Here!
Ground and hollow dance! You managed to pull through.
I'll do my best.
Here I go! On guard! Shattering a
Mega Ray!
Attack time! I'll smash you! Now I'm in the group!
Hurricane Wall! Lightning! Where are you going?
Hit a word! I'm just getting started!
Make it rain! Here's a healing arc!
Look sharp.
Lightning Tiger Blade!
I'll heal you all!
Talon Hurricane! Blast Storm!
Healing
Anything! Oh! Now I'm real mad!
That radiant light! Here!
How about this? That's fun! Now I'm in the
Do it, Alpin!
Commander of Heaven.
Phoenix Cyclone!
Any injuries?
I'd like to check their wares, if you don't mind.
Looks like we made it here in one piece. You can never be too prepared. But did we have to spend so much?
Hell yeah! There's no way you can complain about how this tastes!
get out of this! I'm on it! Look sharp!
Burning strike!
I'll smash you! Make it rain!
Demons descend!
Flashing fang!
A chain between heaven and earth.
Leave the ensnaring to me. Yeah!
A chain between heaven and earth.
Make it rain!
Eon, astral energy! Full throttle! A chain between heaven and earth. Spread! A wailing Danthea!
Take this!
A chain between heaven and earth. Pierce evil!
Do it!
Freeze laser!
Shouldn't have messed with me!
Ground and pound! Divine savior! Primed and ready! Hurricane strike! Blah blah blah! Divine savior!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
A chain between heaven and earth.
I'm on a roll!
I'll stop your movement!
And I'll stop your life!
Everyone still in one piece?
Yep. I barely worked up a sweat. Just beyond the darkest sky!
Take this! I can carve through armor!
Far beyond the darkest sky! I think I'll pass on the hand.
No further! That's enough!
Shooting star! Far beyond the darkest sky!
Far enough! I'm just getting
Far
started!
beyond the darkest sky!
Shooting star!
They're
Keep charging us!
That's what my shield's for. Get behind me!
Got it! I'll leave it to you!
Shooting star! Far beyond the darkest sky!
I'll tear you apart! You picked the wrong fight!
Magic is far beyond blah blah blah!
Now you see what I can do!
Far you get the gist! Shooting star!
Shield and face!
Far beyond the darkest sky! I call it
Can't get out of this!
Mega Ray!
I'll tear you apart!
Shooting star! Far beyond the darkest sky! I call it party! Shooting star!
Appreciate the help! Not today!
Burning strike!
I'm going for door! Inferno crossing!
Here's another! Bullseye!
Pieces! Attack time!
Sighted!
Far enough!
Chain between heaven and earth!
Going in!
By the power of flame!
In a vine! Without a freaking duck!
Divine savior!
Going in!
A chain between heaven and earth! Blah 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 magic! Divine savior! Blah blah blah! Healing circle!
Now I'm real mad!
Divine!
Do
Divine savior!
Demons descend! Flashing fang!
It was a close thing. We seemed... to have come across something a little...
Oh
Chain
man,
between heaven
I
and
hope
earth.
I live long enough to regret
A
it.
wailing savior! How long are we gonna keep this up for exactly?
Engaging!
Between heaven and earth. That'll bring you down.
Take this!
A chain between
In a vine! First strike! All hands here now!
divine magic is at
Now you see what I can do!
Do it!
All yours, Kisara!
A chain between heaven and earth. A wailing banshee of divine savior. A chain between heaven and earth. Blah blah blah. Far beyond the darkest, you get the gist.
Take this!
Far beyond the darkest sky. Shooting star.
I've been doing really great lately.
impact. I'll trip it up.
Goodbye! Not on my watch!
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Looks like we won.